Right?
All right, ready? I can hear you. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2.
I don't really hear it. Is that the first one? The one that's all crackly? Oh, okay.
No. Let me see. I can hear you.
Yeah.
No? That's not right. That's something wrong with your phone.
Yeah, that's your phone. Yeah, it's working.
Unless you're logged in. Are you logged in?
Morning, Megan.
Oh my God. It's not.
And of course, Santa Margarita has.
You want to call it?
We gotta stop.
So, yesterday.
Unbelievable.
Sound's not working.
Yep.
Christian.
It's going to be a shortened version
Just
this time.
like that.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's
overcast. Okay, we got
It's not
JSerra
even
here.
going to be like you guys saying, like, oh,
No.
well, my JSerra just going to be like, yeah, I got to go.
The intro's gonna be, hi, I'm Eric, this is Mike, and this is JSerra. Okay,
Jeff,
guys?
your car's being towed.
parking.
Jeff, your car's being towed.
With the owner of a...
Subaru Outback.
It's silver Subaru Outback with a Ducks logo on the back of it.
40 people come out the door. It's a little overcast here today in Southern California, but we're not going to let that rain on our parade as we come to you from out front of the rinks at Anaheim Ice here in Anaheim for the 7th and final regular season edition of the Report Card on the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League Facebook Live page. Hi, everybody. I'm Eric Pessolano. You know the Iceman, Mike Perkins. Someone's missing, though, from this broadcast.
Well,
Mike.
we miss Laser. We want to give a shout-out to him, and we don't know what he's doing.
And I'd rather not know what he's doing. But he's not here this weekend.
Is
He'll
he
be
in Vegas? Did he go to Vegas without us?
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
So we have our final couple of regular season weekends here in the league. We have a couple of games today. We'll have a few games in 2 weeks. No games next weekend due to the President's Day holiday. But we're getting down to the end, and everyone's jockeying for position.
Well, there's only two spots that are really spoken for at this point: Santa Margarita in Division I and Beckman in Division II.
3, yeah, Division 3.
Yeah, Division 3. Yeah, Division 3. Excuse me.
And neither of them have lost a game yet.
And then in Division 2, we got 3 teams: La Jolla Country Day, St. John Bosco, and Capo United, who's at the top, jockeying for position.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot more about those standings a little bit later on in the show. But one of those teams jockeying for position are the JSerra Lions, who were kind enough to join us today here on the report card. We have head coach Jeff Noviello, and we have Michael Pellegrino, Jack Dwyer, and Blake Reed. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. Coach, we'll start with you as we get down here to the end of the regular season. You guys are battling for playoff position. How do you coach these guys up getting ready for the postseason?
I think it's time of the year. They're coaching themselves at this point. You know, it's a gradual climb all year long, and here we are. It's playoff time. They know how serious the games are, and we're ready to get busy.
Coach, talk about your seniors. I know that at JSerra that's always a very important aspect to building a team, and obviously you have a couple of them sitting here with you right now, but talk about your senior group.
Yeah, we got a good group. You know, Mike, we go through this every year. You know, this is my 4th year at JSerra, and I've had these guys for 4 years now. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's a good group, and it's amazing to watch them grow over the years at the high school level.
A lot of success with this JSerra program over the years. How much of the program's history do you bring up in front of the group and try to get them motivated?
We talk about it a lot. You know, we're the first team to be, first school to be 10 years old. You know, it's a lot of history. You know, a lot of good things have happened in that time, so we do bring up the past.
Yeah, and Michael, I'll start with you. You guys got a big one today against Santa Margarita, as always. Every time you guys go out there against the Eagles, it's a tough one. What do you do personally to prepare for a game against Santa Margarita?
Yeah, well, we know about all the history for the SM game, so it seems like both teams, you know, are especially ready for that game in particular. For me, I just like to get ready like a lot before the game and just kind of prepare myself, you know, sit down, think about the game. So.
Jack, maybe you can talk a little bit about your experiences over the years at JSerra. You're a senior now. Talk a little bit about, you know, your process and how it's all worked out. Maybe how you developed through the system and now are being a pivotal part of the varsity team.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been good to be with the same players, you know, for 4 years. You don't usually get that opportunity like through club and stuff. So playing like with the boys you go to high school with and like being able to see them every day, it's been really special.
Then Blake, maybe you can talk a little bit about the locker room and the dynamic in the locker room and what the guys are like and what it's like to go in for practice every day or for a game.
Yeah, I think this year especially we have a really tight-knit group. You know, every day at school we sit together, we have lunch together.
Is it the same table?
It is the same table.
It's the same table?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just checking.
It's been the same table for 3 years for me and I guess 4 for these guys. So.
Well, that was the table 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, so it's really cool to see how we gel together, and we look forward to seeing it here in the playoffs coming up.
Yeah, Coach, you know, with playoffs right around the corner, maybe you can talk a little bit about your team and what you're trying to do with them, you know, from an X's and O's standpoint, and maybe some development that you're doing with them at this point to get them ready for playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's just hard work and practice. You know, we don't have as much ice as we'd like to have, as you know. You know, we're always looking to get more ice. We've been buying a couple of extra sheets here and there. We keep things simple in our systems, and we just try to get at it, working hard in practice and getting after pucks.
Mikey, I have a question for you. So what's it like having a girlfriend on the team? I know we've all wanted to ask that question here, so...
And she's our captain.
Yeah.
Well, listen, first of all, Rachel's number one. She's a great person. She's a great student, and she really represents the program well. But we'd like to give you a little hard time.
Nice answer, Mikey.
I stumped him.
Yeah,
perfect. Exactly what I wanted.
Pled the fifth on that one, without saying anything. The silence speaks volumes at this point in time. So you guys also, not only is this game later on today against Santa Margarita, a league game, but it's also a Caja State Championship qualifying game. What is the difference between a league game and then when you have Caja attached to it? Do you guys prepare any differently? Any one of you can answer this question. Do you prepare anything differently, or do you try to stick to your game plan all the way?
Well, obviously we want to win more games, like win all of our games, no matter if it's Caja or league. We want to play as good as we can. But obviously when it's a state game, we really want to come out and get those points we need to finish in the top 4 to make state playoffs. So there's a little extra on the line there for those games. So I guess that's
I was going to say, do you guys feel any extra added pressure when you know there's a little bit more on the line?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I've been through that with you guys and with my teams prior. So I really know what, and especially today going against Santa Margarita, it's a big game, and you know you're used to seeing those guys over at the rink once in a while. You guys miss each other. You know, they're going out of the building, you guys are coming in, or vice versa for practices, and of course a lot of the players on those teams. Blake, maybe you can talk about that because you played with a lot of those guys over the years, and so there's a lot of pride on the line when you see them walking in out of the rink or come here, and obviously today there's a lot of pride on the line.
Yeah, there definitely is. I think with every team in this league, there's a ton of passion and care for the game. So, in especially Kaha games, there's with so much on the line, we all try to show up as best we can for those games and play the best of our abilities. So,
you guys have had to deal with some injuries so far this season. We know Brett Rudy was out for a period of time. He's back. Jake Hager's out. Not going to have him today. How do you guys, as a unit, make up for that when you have players like that out of the lineup?
From a coaching aspect, that's kind of the fun thing about it, because others have to step up. We have 2 dislocated shoulders this year. That's tough, and they're tough kids. We're anxious to have them back, but you got to get through them. Everyone's got to step up when those things happen.
Yeah, so obviously Hager and Brett are pivotal on our defensive core, but with Coughlin and Tadamir, those guys are going to have to step up. Max Lynch, those guys are going to have to play more minutes, and just stand up for us.
Jeff, maybe you can talk just a little bit about how you combine the academics, the faith base, and the athletics into the program, and how all that works. And I think the neat thing that we see is after games, you guys get together and you guys say a prayer on the ice as a group and as a team, and I mean that's something that's pretty special.
Yeah, it definitely is. This is my 8th year in the league, and I've seen it with the other school I was at and at JSerra. There's just a bond of these kids spending so much time together, at school and then after school. And one of the things we're trying to do since I took over is to keep the traditions that we've had for a long time and keep them going. And the one thing we added this year was our prayer after the games, to show respect to our parents that are supporting these kids all along the way.
So guys, coming down to the end of the season, it seems like it's flown by. We were talking about it yesterday. We feel like we've been doing this for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden the season comes to a close. What's been this group of guys, or for you guys as a team, what's this whole year been like for you coming down? Have you experienced anything new that maybe you hadn't seen in the last few years?
I know coming into my senior year, I knew I kind of wanted to make it like a special season. And I think our pivotal point of the season was a Thanksgiving tournament game. We played against this one Canadian team, and we persevered and won that game. And I feel like as soon as that game was over, I knew like we had a chance like for the rest of the season. And we came together as a team at that point, and we've really like turned it on since then. So I don't know, just trying to make this season special.
Over the years watching this JSerra program play, there have been a lot of seasons where you guys, especially in the last couple of years, have kind of snuck your way up into the top of the division. This year, it's not sneaking. You guys have been at the forefront of it. Do you feel like you have a target on your back with everybody else coming for you, or would you have rather have been quietly creeping up toward the top?
Well,
Yeah,
I can answer
to
this
say
one.
about that?
I mean, I definitely think that we have a target on our back, but that's something that as a team we need to realize and persevere through, because that can help us just as much as it can be intimidating. So it's something that I guess JSerra understands, and we embrace every game. So.
Yeah, guys, I just want to say how proud I am of you guys and what you guys are doing. I've been fortunate to coach all 3 of you guys, and obviously work with Jeff, and I have a lot of admiration for all you guys, and just want to wish you guys the best of luck here the remainder of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the report card. Jeff Noviello, Michael Pellegrino, Jack Dwyer, and Blake Reed here on the report card. Good luck today, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
There you go, the JSerra Lions.
What a good group of kids.
Right?
Yep.
Well, we've covered all the Division I teams so far this season, and we want to thank every team for their time and coming out here, sitting down with us. And
we actually got through all of them?
We went through all of them. We got to all 7 teams over the course of this season in our brand new endeavor here. I think it's gone well.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. I'm sure I've enjoyed it, and obviously working alongside of yourself, you do a very professional job, and obviously Chuck adds a lot of flavor and passion to what we do. So, and of course Christian has been behind the scenes in all this, and Matt Blanchard, the commissioner, has done a great job of organizing, making sure all this can happen. So this has been very, very fun for me on my end of things, and I just want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
No, we want to thank you for coming by. It's been a lot of fun this year, especially we're going to that 3-man booth now during the games. It's been a ton of fun. This guy had so much. You guys know, you've been watching all season long. We move along now from JSerra and talk about our players of the month from the month of January. We'll start in Division I. Jalen Cordura from Damien, 3 goals, 5 assists in the month of January. The Spartans went 2-1. And we saw them last night against the Edison Chargers. They won the game 5-2, but they are different when he is not in the lineup. He wasn't there yesterday, and this is one of the reasons why he gets Player of the Month.
Well, Jalen Cordura is such a dynamic player. He has so many facets to his game. His ability to skate, his ability to separate from the defender, to be able to make plays, his shot, his vision. He is just a super important element to that Damien Spartan team.
We're going to skip down to Division III. And there's a reason for that. We'll get to that in just a second. Taylor Davis from Upland Christian Academy, 5 goals and an assist in January. The Eagles went 3-0 in the month, and I know you haven't seen a ton of Division III this year, but UCA is getting the job done here in January.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some playoff hockey and some Division III hockey. In fact, I think I'm going to be doing some play-by-play. So looking forward to that, and probably going to call a UCA game.
Perhaps you were a little quick to thank us for being here.
Yeah.
We're throwing him into play-by-play in the playoffs.
Well, I can't lie. I haven't mentioned it, but I actually did a play-by-play once. It wasn't for ice hockey, but I actually did play-by-play. So.
Well, what was it for?
It was for floorball.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I wanted you to bring it.
It was Team USA versus Team Canada, and I did the play-by-play for that. But we'll see how this goes. I got to learn some names. I don't know how you do it. Really, you're very good at calling those names.
Technology.
Yes.
It's all technology.
Yep.
I don't really.
Do you have a
much.
teleprompter?
No. I have a tablet.
El Presidente.
Yeah. No, look, I don't have any teleprompter. No teleprompter. We do this without teleprompter. Someone great said once.
Well, I'm looking forward to being able to make the call, the play-by-play call, and it should be exciting.
So great month for the Eagles with Taylor Davis winning Division III Player of the Month. The Division II Player of the Month is joining us here live on the report card. Ben Snyder from Capistrano United, 5 goals and an assist in January. The Coyotes went 2-0. Ben, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So your team, since joining this league, has been gangbusters. They'll come out of the gate, smash on everybody. Bosco comes along into Division II. Now you got a rivalry. This year, La Jolla Country Day steps their game up, and now we got a 3-horse race. How has the team handled it this season?
I think personally, this is the best team we've had in our history. Everyone's handled it great, especially our underclassmen, our sophomores and freshmen doing a fantastic job, and obviously 2 big powerhouses that each time we play them, we just get super hyped up for, and it's a great game.
So for you, you're here because you won Player of the Month, so congratulations on that. When you go out there, game in, game out, what are you looking to do to try to help the team win every day?
When it comes to winning, obviously you got to lead, be a leader. Not necessarily putting myself in position to score. Obviously that's big factor, but putting my teammates in position to score, obviously helping everyone around me be better. That's pretty much what we all try to do as a team, just help each other be better on the ice and off the ice as well.
Yes, Snides is a super dynamic player, and congratulations on Player of the Month.
Thank you.
It's awesome to have you on here. I've been fortunate enough to coach Ben before. He is a dynamic player. He has the ability to score some goals in some very different ways. He's got some great hands. He's got a great release of a shot. His shot is heavy for a player of his style. So it's to watch him here and what he does in Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League is very fun. So, but I think he's exactly right. I think Ben has always kind of done that as a player. I think he's not just a single-faceted player who can get the puck in the back of the net. I think he's very good at seeing the ice and getting his line mates involved in the play as well.
And not only selected Player of the Month, but also selected to the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League All-Star Game the other night. What was that experience like for you over at Honda Center?
That was a blast. Obviously, all the guys around the league. It was nice catching up with all the SM guys, too. They had a lot of guys over there. And overall, it was just super fun. Sucks it was the last time I'm going to be in it, but I couldn't trade it for anything else. It was a blast.
How would you sum up your career here in the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League now, looking back here in the final season?
If I had to pick one word, I'd definitely pick journey. Started freshman year playing JV, and then slowly just climbed up. And our JV team freshman years, we kind of just had the same core guys climb up all the way through this our senior year now. Other than that, it's just been a long journey. A good one, though.
Yeah.
Definitely. a couple championships along the way too. So I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yes, nice. Maybe you can talk a little bit about Coach LeBay and how he prepares you guys. You know, I mean, obviously, Coach he's a good buddy of mine, and obviously you've played for him for quite a few years. So talk about how he is in practices.
I think all of us respect John as a coach a lot. Practices are super intense.
Just like he is.
Oh yeah. We always keep it fun though. As much as we keep it fun, we know when it's time to get down to work and compete though. So I'd say it's a good balance between having fun and then working hard and getting better each day.
Yeah. How does it work with all the different schools being involved with your team? Because you go to Elisa Nugel, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you go to Elisa Nugel and you have players from Tesoro. You have players from. Is there any players from Capo?
Joey Holman.
Okay, yeah, Joey, that's right,
Holman's
Joey,
from Capo,
and then San Juan Hills and Dana, and then San Clemente. So what's it like? You know, obviously from a CIF standpoint, those are all rival schools.
Oh yeah.
But for Capo United, everybody's together.
Yeah. So obviously, football and basketball season come around. We all hype up our own school.
That's what I was interested in.
We all talk a little crap about each other's goals, but when it comes down to the end of the day, we're on the same team. All have one goal. This year, make it to the championships and win. So it's a good blend being a district team. I think we have a lot of diversity, and everything just comes out great. Although we still have that talking trash aspect.
I bet you do.
During football and basketball season for sure.
So going forward here as we get closer to the end of the regular season, what do you see from your team that you need to do, maybe things that you need to get better to go on and win another title for Capo?
Right now, I think it's defense. I think offensively, we're coming out and we're putting up numbers. Defensively, if we can maybe eliminate 1 or 2 goals a game, I think we definitely could give Bosco a run for their money this year in the finals, not just regular season.
Yeah, Snides, congrats again on your Player of the Month. I love to watch you play. I really enjoyed watching you play in the All-Star game, and just allowed you to do some of the things that you like to do, some backhand sauces, some forehand sauces. It was fun to watch. So congrats again.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks so much for joining us here
Thank you
today.
so
Good
much.
luck. Good luck later on
Thank you,
for the rest
thank
of
you.
the season. It's Ben Snyder from Capistrano United, the Division II Player of the Month in the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League. Again, 5 goals and an assist in the month of January.
Snides is a fine young man. Like I said, I've coached him before. He's fun to be around. He's fun to, during practices, him and I would, we'd pass the puck around and have a lot of fun. So it's good to see him getting some accolades here.
Yeah, we talked about how he was in the All-Star game the other night at Honda Center. We're going to recap all the action that went down in those 3 All-Star games the other night over at the Big House. It started off with the junior varsity game, of course, Team Americans and Team Pirates. We're still not telling you where the names came from. That's still up to everybody else to try to figure out.
Where are they supposed to let us know? On Twitter? They're supposed to tweet it out?
I don't know if we're ever going to do it.
No, like if people are trying to answer, are they supposed to tweet us, or what are they going to do?
Why not? Hey, comment on the video that you're watching right now on Facebook.
I'd like
Give us
to
some
hear
guesses.
That. Yep.
I'll try to pull it up here and see if anybody gets it right. We'll go through all the All-Star games and see if you know where what the theme of for the team names for the All-Star game was. So go ahead and comment on the Facebook live page that you're watching. You can just click right below our screen right here and go ahead and leave your comment. And you can go on Twitter as well and tag the league at ADHSHL on Twitter and at ADHSHL on Instagram as well. We're keeping track of all that stuff. We got a social media team that's also our media team and our everything else team. So they're on top of it, and they're paying attention. So Team Americans beat Team Pirates 7-3 in the All-Star game. We had some skills competitions. Fastest skater, Brandon Boudreau from Villa Park. And in the accuracy shootout, Nathan Brunell from JSerra took home the honors there. Yeah, another JSerra Lion.
Yep, another
right?
JSerra Lion. I coached both his brothers, so shout out to those guys.
And Jake and Zach, too. Well, yeah.
Yep.
Hi, guys. Any coach wants to say what's up. MVP of the game from Pacific Ridge School was Jack Cadieux.
Who had a fantastic game. He was very impressive out there. And it wasn't just him all by himself. He was making some plays and working with his teammates. And in an environment like that, when you don't know the players all that well, and to be able to come out there and work with those guys, it was fun to watch. He was very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. So Team Americans over Team Pirates 7-3 in the All-Star game the other night. The varsity game saw the Arenas beat the Bulldogs 8-2. Fastest skater in the competition there was Corey Mater from Placentia Yorba Linda, and he burned everybody.
We've had Corey here on. He was Player of the Month October. Is that right?
I can't remember which month. I think you might be right.
Yep.
Yeah, he came by, so he won that competition. Your accuracy shootout winner. You saw him earlier here on the show, Blake Reed.
And that doesn't surprise me at all. Blake has an absolute laser of a shot. And I just knew if he was going to get on a roll. Actually, I called and I said he wasn't gonna win it, but he proved me wrong. So good job, Blake.
I'm glad you were humble enough to call yourself out there.
If I make a mistake, I'm calling myself out.
Blake actually wanted to be in that accuracy shootout competition this year because he'd done fastest skater before, and look what happens. He goes out and wins it when you put your mind to it. MVP of the game, and he really impressed us because he went hard for all 51 minutes. That was David Wynn from Bellarmine.
David Wynn is just a real important piece of the puzzle for the Bellarmine Bells, and he came down here on a day, got out of school and got down here, and he showed what he can do, and he's fun to watch. He's a hardworking guy, and if you like hardworking hockey players, he's a fun guy to watch.
He is fast.
And he's got some good wheels to go along with that hard work ethic.
The senior game. Now this was the game of the night. We figured it would be. The Maroons beat the Wanderers 12-10.
And there was a couple of times it looked like it was going to get out of hand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and then the Wanderers kept clawing their way back into it. In fact, at one point I thought they were actually going to tie it up and then try to go up, but the Maroons said we'll have none of that, and they started dumping a bunch of goals in.
I think I ran out of goal slots on my score sheet at one point. I only have 12 slots. I forgot it's an all-star game. I should have made an adjustment and put it down to 20 just in case. The fastest skater was Parker Brakebill, Orange Lutheran, who came out and took that competition.
Parker, I got to give you a shout-out, man. That was the best interview of the night and the best interview of the season. To answer that, I forget the gal's name that was doing the interviews. Allie.
Yeah.
Allie, who was just asking some good questions, and she asked Parker, what he did to prepare for the fastest skater competition. And without missing a beat, he said, when my coach says take a hard lap at practice, I go as hard as I can. Said no player ever. And it was the funniest thing. I almost fell out of my chair. So kudos to Parker. That was one of the best interviews. Not only to be almost topped by his coach,
Joe Adams had the greatest answer ever.
Hashtag team his way through an interview with the team bus and the team meal and the team hotel and the team stretch and the team practice. So good job to Joe Adams on that one as well.
And I think the best part about both of their interviews, straight face the entire time. No smiles, made it all the way through, and trolled everyone for a few minutes.
And poor Allie, until halfway through Joe's interview, her face lit up and she knew what was going on. So I'm glad she got in on it as well.
Oh, great interviews over there at Honda Center during the All-Star game. The accuracy shootout winner was Keanu Manula from Los Alamitos.
Oh, and he's got a very good shot, very good in tight, and I've seen him play several times over the course of this year, and he's got a nice shot. Yeah,
he does. And then the MVP of the game was Parker Brakebill, who ended up having a hat trick in the game and an assist.
I don't care if he had any goals. I don't care if he had any goals. He's that interview MVP.
Oh my goodness, it was a great
He might
night.
get my MVP of the year just for that. Yes.
It was a great night over at Honda Center.
We had a blast.
Yeah,
it was fun to be up top there. Obviously, a different vantage point. As a coach, I surely enjoy watching from up top like that. I think you get to see all the plays develop and be able to see what happens behind the play and in front of the play and all those types of things. So it was fun to be able to call the game from up top.
Yeah, and it was great to have you up there. It was good doing the three-man booth for the All-Star game. We had a blast, and we had Chuck running food for us, too, in the second game.
Food and soda. Chuck, go. Sorry, buddy.
And he did it voluntarily.
I know.
That was the more impressive part.
I was kind of surprised. I said, Chuck, can you get us some nachos? Yeah, no problem.
Missed the first 5 minutes of the game, but hey, he made his way back up to the press
What a
box.
good time. And we want to give a shout-out to Hayden, who was there helping us out.
Yeah, Hayden Niswanger, who was our cameraman and technical director for the All-Star Games.
Did a good
thank
job.
him for his time. Did a great job, yeah.
I think at first he didn't know what to think of us, but after a while he kind of caught on to our game. So
it takes a second to warm up to us.
Yep.
And by a second, I mean, 3 to 6 months. You figured it out a little bit quick. But we knew you before you came on the air, so you had your time to adjust.
Absolutely.
Fun night at Honda Center. It was the 7th annual Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League All-Star Games over there. And may very well be our final All-Star Games over there with the new building coming next season. So we'll see about that. In the meantime, just want to remind you, you're watching The Report Card live right here on Facebook Live on the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League Facebook page. We move along now. Let's recap what's going on in each division. We're not going to go game by game like we normally do because we're running short on time, but we'll go through the divisions. As always, we will start with Division 1. Santa Margarita is 15-0 with 45 points. Locked into that number 1 seed. They get the bye to the second round.
What do you expect? The way they've played and what they do as a team, their offensive ability is very stunning for most teams to try to handle. And we saw a lot of that last night, and we're going to see if they can continue that here this afternoon against JSerra.
Yeah, lost a couple of guys.
One and two. 1 and 2 this afternoon.
1 and 2. That's right. That's right. They had a couple of injuries last night. Logan Orsini and Dylan Hernandez Ramirez left their game. And hopefully those two guys are okay. We don't have any updates on them. We just know they left the ice.
The one update that I do know is that Logan, I'm not sure if he's game time decision or not, but I heard from his dad last night that he wasn't feeling great. So I'm suspecting he's probably not going to play today, and I have not heard on DHR yet.
Yeah, so speedy recovery to those two gentlemen as they have JSerra later on today at 2:45 on Black Dog Hockey. Lions are in second place. At present time, they're 8-5-1, and they're in a race right now with Bellarmine, Orange Lutheran, and Damien for that number 2 seed. The whole jumbled middle here as we come down the last couple games of the year.
Those guys are battling for those spots, and then Tahoe and Edison are battling for those final 2 spots. And I don't think there's any way to crawl up past that. But I think obviously those 2 teams, they want to be careful if they don't want to run into the Blue Express.
Yeah. Tahoe actually has I think they have a chance, if my math is correct here. They have 3 games left, so they can get to 18 points and catch Damien if the Spartans lose all of their games. So, there's a lot of help that Tahoe would need, but still mathematically in it for that number 5 spot. Bellarmine at present time is number 3. Their regular season is over. They can't change their point total there. They have 23. They're going to have to wait and see what the Lancers and Spartans do.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. A large portion of the games here have been very exciting, except for the Santa Margarita games. They've had a couple games that have been fairly close, but the rest of the division, everything's been tight and fun to watch and very competitive.
Damien last night, they got a big win over Edison. They're 7-6 on the year. They moved to 21 points. They jump into that 4 spot over Orange Lutheran. We'll see the Lancers later today at 12:45 on Black Dog Hockey against Tahoe, so they'll have a chance to jump back into that 4 spot and even a chance to catch Bellarmine. But the Spartans last night, a little short-handed, didn't play their best game of the season, but you know what? They got the W and the 3 points.
Yeah, when it come right down to it, they found a way to get the job done, and shout out to Matthew Augustine, who had a fabulous game and got the game winner for the Damien Spartans last night.
Earned the first star, the Black Dog Hockey first star of the game last night during our broadcast. Orange Lutheran comes in at 5th. They are sitting at 7-7 at present time. They have 20 points. Again, we mentioned we'll see them against Tahoe. They had a tough game last night in Caja qualifying against West Ranch, so they got to come out here today and try to bounce back.
Yeah, expect the Lancers to come out and playing hard today. You got to look to players like Jacob Fury, Parker Brakebill, Blake Mendez, Jordan Eisenman to really backstop that team here. And if we can get those guys pumping on all cylinders, it's going to make for a very interesting remainder of the season and into the playoffs.
I can tell you Jacob Fury was upset about that game yesterday. He came up to me right before the tryouts for Team California and couldn't believe it. He was pretty distraught, so I think they'll be ready to go later on today.
Well, he's one player you don't want to get upset.
yeah, that's
because he
for
can
sure.
hurt you
Whenever he wants. Tahoe comes in right now in 6th place. They have 9 points. Edison at the bottom at current time with 7 points. So still some time for those 2 teams to jockey back and forth to see who's going to play the number 2 and number 3 seeds. So that's the Division 1 standings. It's going to be tight coming down, especially there in the muddled middle. 2 through 6 or 2 through 5 have yet to be determined. We talked about the schedule today coming up.
We just got an entrance to, with Division 1 Cup there.
The Division 1 Cup is entered the building.
In the house.
I think the Commissioner, Matt Blanchard, is collecting the trophies because they have to be doled out here in a couple of weeks.
Well, they're going to start making their way in, and I've been fortunate to have my hands on that thing a couple times.
There you have. Well, Dan Adams over here delivering the goods to the Commissioner.
I think he was trying to wave it in my face a little bit, so I'll have to have a talk with Coach Adams later.
And we'll also have a meeting later on today to discuss how we just block out everything going on behind the camera. We focus on the camera. No more distractions.
Well, look who you're talking to.
Oh, today on Black Dog Hockey, a triple header of varsity Division I action for you. We'll have Tahoe Hockey Academy and Orange Lutheran at 12:45. JSerra and Santa Margarita at 2:45. That one will double as a Caja game. And then at 6:15 tonight, Damien and Tahoe Hockey Academy will wrap up our coverage. And then after that, we're down to one more broadcast in the regular season, and that's not until February 24th.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah. And that game will be Damien and Orange Lutheran, as a matter of fact, at 2 o'clock on Saturday, February 24th. Damien and JSerra will end their regular season against one another on February 28th. That's a Wednesday night at 6:10. We won't have coverage of that game, but those 6 games that I just mentioned between our broadcasts and the ones that we're not covering are the final 6 games of the regular season for Division I.
Here we go. Let's get at it.
Everything is starting to come together. Let's move on to Division II. St. John Bosco is up top. They lead the way at 10-2 right now. 29 points, just a point ahead of Capistrano United and 5 ahead of La Jolla Country Day. We talked about it. The Braves, the Coyotes, the Tories all battling for a D2 regular season title.
Well, let's not count out North County and Central Cathedral right now. Those are both very good teams as well. Maybe not had as much success against those top teams, but in the mix and in the conversation as well. But when you look at Bosco and all their firepower that they have, and Capo and the firepower that they have, and La Jolla and the style that they play, a grittier, grinder type of game, it's going to make for a good run here into the playoffs.
North County and Central Cathedral only have 1 game left in their regular season schedule, so they're not going to be able to jump up into the top 3. But the 3 teams up in the top 3 at current time all have 3 games left. And those schedules begin today. La Jolla Country Day will take on Poway later on tonight down at UTC Ice at 4:50, so that's going to be a big game to look out for. Capistrano United takes on North County here in Anaheim at 4:30 later on today.
Why are we not doing that game?
It wasn't either one of our decisions. That's all. We'll talk about it off the air later.
Okay.
But we're going to watch that game, that's for sure.
We are.
And we're going to see what Capistrano United can do. And then Pacific Ridge and Central Cathedral at 4:25 later on today down at San Diego Ice Arena. So that's today's schedule in Division II. Of course, you go down the ladder a little bit. Poway, Pacific Ridge, and Las Vegas United down near the bottom of the standings. But Las Vegas, they still have 4 games left, and they're coming out here for a couple of weekends to try to wrap up their regular season.
2 of my favorite players are on that team, and we got a chance to watch them over at the Honda Center the other night, and they'll be doing what they do. Toronto and Bardo.
Yeah, and how great was it for them to come out and participate in the game, having to come from the desert?
Yep, it was great to see those guys, and it was nice to see Mike Yoakum. I know he's not on this team, but he's on the other Las Vegas team. It was good to see him out as well.
He's on the Division III team. We're going to move on to Varsity Division III. We will start with the Coast View Conference. Of course, Beckman has locked everything up in the Coast View Conference. They are 13-0, 38 points. They do have an overtime win. That's why it's not 39. Los Alamitos and Woodbridge battling for the 2 and 3 spots. They're separated by 5 points with 2 games to go. So a chance for Woodbridge. They've got some work to do, but right now it looks good that the Griffins probably going to lock up that 2 seed. They just need to win.
Yeah, we saw them play, was it last week or the week before, and I was very impressed with their team. They have a nice group with the likes of Aiden Perez and Manula and the supporting cast behind those guys, but a nice little team that they have, and look for them to make a push here down the remainder of the season.
Huntington Beach is in 4th place in the Coast View Conference. Mater Dei, Santa Margarita, Servite below them, but Mater Dei and Santa Margarita both have 4 games left, so a lot of points still out on the board here over these last couple of weeks of the regular season. In the Crescent Conference, Bishop Amat, they're ahead of Villa Park by 3 points. Each of them have 3 to go, and Corona Norco right behind them with 2 to go. So even the Crescent Conference, rather, that still isn't even locked up yet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching those teams, and again, I don't get a chance to watch a whole lot of them, but that's it looks like that group there is battling things out as well.
We might have to take a peek over on the Olympic side later on tonight when Los Alamitos takes on Placentia Yorba Linda. That could be a big one for the Griffins. They need the points. If they can get a win in that game, they're going to lock up at least the number 2 seed, or they will lock up the 2 seed in the Coast View Conference. And now the bracket starts to take shape a little bit. Bishop Amat has Mater Dei at 1 o'clock today over at Lakewood. Corona Norco and Beckman will play right after them on that same sheet of ice. And then Villa Park and Woodbridge later on tonight at Lakewood. Down in Poway at 5:30, Servite takes on Santa Margarita. Those 2 teams having to travel a little bit to go play a game tonight.
Oh, they're playing down in Poway.
Yeah.
Oh, just noticed that. That should be an interesting game.
So they get to travel a little bit of ways from home. So that's the schedule for today in Division III, and those are the standings. So, still so much to be determined, and such a little amount of games left that things are going to get crazy over here over the next 2 weeks.
Well, that's what makes things exciting here when you come down to the end of the season. This is what everybody wants. You start the year and you build and you look forward to the end of the year, and it's here.
All of a sudden.
And this is when it gets fun, and for the coaches and for the players and for us as fans and for us as broadcasters, this is what we look forward to. I can't wait for some of these games, and I'm looking forward to see who comes out in the end.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Division I and how Orange Lutheran is still trying to get back on track. They had a tough one last night, and I told you I talked to Jacob Furry for a moment. That was right as he was taking the ice and getting ready to try out for Team California. We're going to bring back Jeff Noviello from the JSerra Lions, who's one of the coaches for Team California, who will compete in the America Showcase in St. Louis. Jeff, thanks for coming back. We're going to talk a little bit about the team and how was that first tryout last night? How did that all work out? Did you guys see some things you liked?
Yeah, we certainly did. It was a little late at night, but the guys got at it. It was fun.
Jeff, you've been doing this for a lot of years, and in fact, you did the very first one. Talk about how it's progressed from that year to where we're at now, and how it looks here from last night's tryout.
Well, the first year, you and I did it together, and we had to experience it as you go. We learned a lot that year, and I think each year since then, we've gotten a little bit better and better about how to approach the whole thing. And, at the end of the day, it's a tournament. But what's more important is it's a showcase for these guys. It's to get them in front of some scouts that might give them some opportunities to go play elsewhere.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's a ton of scouts out there that at all different levels, whether it be high-level junior, high-level college, low-level junior, low-level college, club college, NCAA college, and they're all at these events, and it's an opportunity for these kids to really just kind of see where they stack up in the mix. And of course, we've had some successes in years past with Team California, and I expect nothing different from this year's group as well. After last night's tryout, I got to tell you, there's some nice hockey players, and it's going to be fun to see how this all works out.
No doubt. Listen, when we put this team together, I look at it from two aspects. I want to put a team together that can go back there and compete, but I also want to put together a team of guys that want to move on and play in the sport beyond. So that's kind of the way I approach the selection. And, Mike, as you know, when we get there, I spend most of my time talking to scouts. I know a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them year after year, and I get to know new ones every year. And right as we get there, that's the first thing I do is go start talking to the scouts and letting them know about our roster and start pointing out names and some kids that I know that are looking to go to junior route or some that are going to go play ACHA somewhere. I'd really try to help promote the players.
Well, it's nice to have Coach Barry Shearer aboard this year to help out, and obviously Dan Adams from Orange Lutheran has been doing this for quite a few years as well, and been a part of. I've been on the staff with him and you, and we did this quite a few times. So he knows what he's doing. He's getting in there. Now you got Barry coming in too, and going to get him involved in it. And the more people like us that are in it, the better the opportunities there are for the kids. And that's what it's really all about, is getting these kids, building these relationships with these different scouts and teams on our level, and then being able to introduce them to the players here from California that want to get out and play other places.
No doubt. I totally agree. The fun thing about it too is there's a lot of guys that we know that are coaching other teams that are actually scouts as well. So, we had some, last year we had just a perfect relationship form, and the kids playing from our team last year is in Arizona playing college hockey for one of our good friends.
Let's talk a little bit about the dynamic of the team. We were talking a little bit about it last night here at the rink, when you get a bunch of kids together who may not know each other all that well, and now you got to kind of put together an all-star team and take them out on the road and maybe across the country. How do you get them? What's the team chemistry like between everybody, and what's your strategy to try to get everybody to come together as one unit and go out and perform well?
Well, I think that's part of our management crew with Matt. We do some team bonding stuff early on, and the guys come together pretty quick. They might be rivals on any given Saturday, but when you're playing for Team California, they find it pretty easy to get together and play together.
Hey, there's only two names that we have to mention when it comes to getting guys together. And Mackenzie and Silverstein, it was the very first year we of all kids who battled on the ice, and we go to Team California and we land in Pittsburgh, and Coach Noviello and I look at each other and say, hey, wouldn't that be neat if we put those guys in the same room together?
Yep. And that's what we did.
And they turned out to be best buddies. They still talk today. And they still talk to us whenever we see them. They're like, yeah, I talked to Mackenzie the other day. Like, what? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I
You
love
guys
it.
used to hate each other
Yeah.
in the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League. So some of those experiences and some of those opportunities to get guys together and learn about each other that maybe those relationships weren't so great when they were freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
Well, there you go. This is another reason to get on Team California. Building the bridge.
There you go.
Between guys.
Well, I think anytime you have the opportunity to put a jersey on collectively for a state or for a country, and for us in this event is to play for Team California, and you have pride in our state and what we're doing, and that's a really important aspect. And I think that's always conveyed from the coaching staff. It's conveyed from the top, and of course you got to give Matt Blanchard a shout out because he does a great job of organizing this whole thing. It's absolutely impossible to do the event without Matt and what he does behind the scenes, and I think the kids ultimately they find out what he actually does. But it's a great event with a lot of great things that not just hockey, but hockey is obviously the primary part of it. But the kids have a great experience and they have a great time and they play hockey along the way and they get some opportunities.
Jeff, Mike talks a little bit about getting the team together to go out there, having some pride, playing with California on the chest. How has the perception of California hockey changed over the last few years going to this showcase, knowing there's a lot more traditional states that have played hockey?
I think they put that aside when we go because the level of competition there is really high. It's you play Team Illinois, you're playing against a legitimate team, and they're coming at you hard the whole game. And I think that's all put aside, and we go there with, hey, we're here to make a statement, and we're here to showcase our players.
Do you think that the view of California hockey has changed in the last few years from everyone else?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We went there the first year in the C pool and then the second year of the C pool, and we won our way out of that, and we could have gone far in the A pool that year, and then the following year we went and made it to the championships in the A pool. So since then, we're looked at as a serious contender.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, thanks so much for joining us here and
Thank
talking
you.
a little bit about Team California. Good luck. We know we got another tryout later on tonight, so you're going to get
Busy
back out
day
there.
We got a full day of hockey and then tryouts tonight.
I don't think I'm going to leave the rink. I'm just going to stay here and watch hockey with you guys all day.
Well, come on up. We'll interview you again.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you very much.
Jeff Noviello from Team California and also from JSerra joining us twice here on the report card in the same show. And we've been talking about Team California over the last few years and how much our talent in this state has improved in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Coach Noviello. He does such a great job. He's truly in it for the players, and I've worked with Jeff on many different levels, and he's just a class individual. He's one of those people that from Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League. We're very fortunate to have him a part of it.
Well, we've come to the end of our final regular season, The Report Card, here
Say
on
it isn't
Facebook
so.
Live. It went by fast.
Say it isn't so.
We did. Matt says it's not so because it's not so technically.
We've been having such a great time.
And you know what? I think we had such a good time. We should probably do this once more. Do you think we could do it one more?
Well, I want to do one more. I want to do a couple more.
I think maybe we're going to do one more. How about we do that?
I'd like to do a pre-playoff, and then I'd like to do one after the playoffs.
We have one more, and it's coming your way March 12th.
Matt's putting his foot down. Perkins comes up with another harebrained scheme.
This is our final regular season, The Report Card. We have one more for you. It's coming your way March 12th, and it's not going to be from here.
At a place TBD.
At a place TBD that has really it's been determined. But we're going to save that for later, and you guys are going to find out where we're going to be. I'd rather not break the news. I think it'd be better that way. Matt wants to give. Matt wants to give hints.
That's like a clue.
He wants hints, and we'll give that clue. We're not going to be wearing this when we're at the other location. We're going to have to be in a protective vest and a hard hat. Does that give it away?
It should, but I can't. I can't wait. Obviously, with what's ahead of us, I think everybody knows what that means. But very exciting time for not just the Anaheim Ducks, not just the Anaheim Junior Ducks, but most definitely the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League is going to be a beneficiary of all these great things that are moving forward here and what's gone on. So, again, you got to give a shout out to the Ducks and everything that they do and the rinks.
Absolutely.
And all those, Art Trottier obviously is behind all of it. So Thank you, Art.
So our final report card will come to you on March 12th, not from here, but from somewhere else, 2 days after the championship games in the league. So stick around for that date. Mark your calendars. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a great show, and that'll be our final one of the year. Special shout-out, as always, to Art Trottier from the Anaheim Ducks. Of course, we want to say thank you to the commissioner, Matt Blanchard, for everything he does. He's basically our executive producer out here, getting everything set up and ready to go. I want to thank Andy Dickerson from Black Dog Enterprises for letting us use all the equipment to be able to get this show on the air for you on Facebook Live. And, of course, we want to thank Chuck Lasik for being with us all season long. Not here today. He's going to be with us on March 12th, though.
Laser's done a fantastic job all year long.
Yeah, Laser will be back. We want to thank Austin Mader, of course, the Director of Operations in the league, for helping set up all the table, getting the chairs out here, and setting up all the logistics for us. So big thank you to him
and getting us
as
our
well.
Parking spots.
See, now we're talking. Now we're talking. He knows where that parking is the most important thing in life, and he's been helping us out with that all season long. Well, for the Iceman, Mike Perkins.
Thank you, Eric.
It's been
Appreciate
fun
it.
all season long.
It's been very fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been awesome.
We've got a few games we got to go call. Don't forget, go over to Black Dog Hockey at 12:45. Orange Lutheran and Tahoe Hockey Academy are going to hit the ice. It's the Lancer Senior Night, as a matter of fact. So go ahead and catch that on Black Dog Hockey. For Mike Perkins, I'm Eric Pesolano saying so long for the final time from the rinks at Anaheim Ice. This has been The Report Card on the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League Facebook Live page. We will see you over on Black Dog Hockey at 12:45, everybody. Bye-bye.